Blog Talk Radio.
You think that your client, one of the wealthiest, most powerful men in the world, is secretly a vigilante who spends his nights beating criminals to a pulp with his bare hands. And your plan is to blackmail this person?
Good luck, right? What's up? This is Mikey, and I'm sitting here with my good friend George, and today we're going to talk about what's going on with the new Dark Knight Rises movie, and then maybe a little bit about Derrick Rose, and maybe just some other random stuff. So, how you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing great. How about you, man?
I'm doing all right, This is first show, so a little nervous, but hopefully we get that out of the way and figure out how to progress throughout the show without royally effing this thing up completely.
Yeah, so everybody should definitely just give us a break in case we do decide to mess up in any way and anything becomes awkward at all, because we're just here to have fun and try to make this as enjoyable as possible for you, the viewer/listener, whatever the hell you want.
Right on. So how excited are you to see The Dark Knight Rises? Because I am just, I'm stoked.
Are you asking me? Or are you asking
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, because there's like 5 people in this conversation right now. All right, me, I am completely ready to see the movie because, I mean, of course, I like Batman Begins, and I like The Dark Knight because of, the Joker. But, I mean, originally whenever I first saw the movie, I thought that the Joker was going to be in the next one because I thought there was going to be, like, a whole Arkham Asylum sort of thing going on. But I think Bane might actually have something to do with Arkham Asylum in this one. So,
because at the end of that movie, they kind of left you with, like, maybe Batman might go to the dark side, kind of like he did in the comics, and then you see the whole Arkham Asylum deal where, like, you get to see the Joker in there, maybe incorporate Harley Quinn or somebody awesome like that. But they did go the route with Bane and Catwoman, so it's kind of cool. I mean, I'm excited to see Bane. Hopefully, I think it takes place, it's like 7 years later it takes place, and then Bane comes back with Catwoman, and then they're initially supposed to try to wipe out Batman, and then he goes on a stint where he doesn't want to be Batman anymore, and they just wreak havoc on Gotham City, basically. Yeah. And then he tries to make a comeback. It's pretty cool because it's kind of set in the future, and in the previews, you can see what looks like big cops that fly from, like would be from the movie RoboCop or something.
Yeah.
Following the Dark Knight's vehicle he uses there.
That is basically supposed to be the Nightwing that they're supposed to be doing that. But no, did you hear that they actually are remaking RoboCop? Just off the subject, but I know they're remaking RoboCop.
Really?
It's going to be stupid. Or it might be actually cool. Who knows?
Who are they going to have play RoboCop? That'd be like remaking $6 Million Man. That doesn't, you only have one guy for that. You can't really. Well, he does wear a suit and a mask.
I don't know who played the original one. Do you?
Oh God, it was like Steven something, I think. And then
Seagal.
No. Steven Seagal in a RoboCop outfit. I think that's the end of the earth right there, maybe, right? But no, I'm pretty excited. Like, of course, we live here in Southern Illinois, and if we want to go anywhere close to even see it in IMAX, we got to go to like Evansville, Indiana.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's a pretty good drive away. Like
about 45 minutes an hour.
Yeah, but I'm so stoked. Like, I've been a Batman fan since I was a kid, and like just collecting comics and things. And like, initially when Batman Begins came out, I didn't know what to think. I was like, wow, this is pretty cool.
Wow.
And they had all the games, and I played it on Xbox, and it was fun. And then The Dark Knight come out, and it was just like, wow, this is amazing. Like, they got one more left after this. I wonder what they're going to do with it. Like, so what did you think about The Dark Knight? Like,
I mean, whenever I first saw Batman Begins, it was like, after I was just already used to, Batman and Robin, that movie. So I thought it was continuing of it, but I was like, okay, Batman Begins probably just going to be
And just a little interjection there. That movie with Batman and Robin was horrible.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, definitely.
That was a stinker. That's a bomb right there.
I'm surprised George Clooney even had a career after that. I think Christopher O'Donnell, I don't think he has a career anymore because of that movie.
I mean, well, look at the guy that became governor. Like, he didn't do movies anymore. That's horrible. He played Mr. Freeze. Arnold?
Oh, yeah, Arnold. Yeah.
Like, you got the guy that played Rambo. Oh, wait, not Rambo. Excuse me. Predator and Terminator.
Oh, yeah.
And he's Mr. Freeze? Like, come on. Like, at least give it a guy. He's supposed to be a highly intelligent being. And you got, like, this horrible brute that doesn't even know how to barely talk any American. He just speaks broken English, and he's Mr. Freeze.
Just starts freezing. I mean, like,
stop moving, it's time for Mr. Freeze.
I know, and like, I just think that the director was just horrible because he gave everybody like the worst possible lines, like, chill, like it freeze somebody. I'm like, dude, nobody would say that in real life unless they're like on a bunch of fucking drugs and they're just running around doing that shit. Like,
I felt like we were 10 years old again, and I was watching my older sister play at her high school, and it was just really bad and sweaty and a nasty old snowing gym kind of thing. That's what it felt like. But yeah, like I think this movie is going to be pretty good. Like when initially they casted the girl that's going to play Catwoman, I was kind of like a little sketchy about it. But she seems like she's going to do a pretty good job.
She's very good at it.
You know what I mean? Like, from what I've seen, and I've seen a multitude of clips from it, and they're all different variances. And, like, I think she's going to do pretty okay.
She's going to make it very, very sexy. It looks like, I mean, just from the first, or the second trailer where, she's, like, getting in, like, his ear and stuff like that. She's like, and you hold the hair. I forgot what she says exactly. But yeah, just when she's saying that, I was like, man, automatic owner. I was like, dude, I want to maybe just like watch that. I'm about to go in there like twice, and the second time with a trench coat, just so you can jack off the entire thumbs.
What's that guy doing in here with all that popcorn? He cut a hole in the bottom of the popcorn. I had a friend that, speaking of that, just off subject from that. I had a friend once that did that, and he did the whole cut a hole in the bottom of the popcorn thing in the movie theater and was on a date with a girl. And he went to go like put his ingenuity, what I'm saying? He went to go put his business in the popcorn, and he said it just annihilated his the hot oil and you just imagine like the Syrian pain for.
Yeah, because I thought you're supposed to like take out the popcorn first, because I feel like if you did that and it was still in there, I mean, like, what if you got a little bit of butter and salt like in your wiener hole?
Have some common sense, man. Cool it down a little bit. Throw some ice in there, some gummy worms, something. Like,
filled up with gummy worms. She grabs one of them. And
this one's not coming out. It's a flesh tone colored. What are we doing here? It's kind of big. What's going on? Why are you making weird noises in the movie?
One of the things that I respect Christopher Nolan for, because originally they were talking about having the Riddler or the Penguin in this, but.
Right, and Johnny Depp was going to be the Riddler.
Yeah.
Wasn't that, like, the big rumor?
It was a huge rumor. I mean, like, on IMDb, all it ever said was just that it was rumored, and I was like, okay, if it's just rumored, there's, like, a 90% chance of it falling through. So I was like, okay. But, I don't know, I mean, like, that's the thing about Christopher Nolan that you have to respect is that he always likes to, like, influence a lot of reality into it to make, everything as believable as possible, even though he made Inception and he thinks that's believable, and even though it makes no sense whatsoever. And I was like, okay, people can go in your brains and shit like that. No, that can't happen yet. But
well, that's why you put somebody like Leonardo DiCaprio that was in the Titanic that solidifies the reasoning for that movie in some way. So he's in it, so it makes sense to everyone else. But essentially, what you're saying with Christopher Nolan and the reality of his films now, like, I believe what you're saying, because what he did was he took, like, the older movies we were talking about, they're kind of crap-esque, not really crap, but they were bad. I mean, they were junk.
Oh, yeah.
Well, just the last, see, like, the first, what is it, the one with Michael Keaton, loved it.
Oh, yeah.
And then the second one, loved it. He's still Michael Keaton, and they had...
That was Tim Burton, that was the director.
The Penguin, yeah. I mean, he may be a loon, a little crazy, but he did a good Batman. He did a good job with the Joker. He did a good job with
the
Penguin. Yeah, that's a good movie too. And then the Val Kilmer movie. I even like the Val Kilmer one. Like, I don't know if that was the same producer. I don't know if it was Tim Burton or not. I can't remember off the top of my head. But it was good too. And then they just had that the last one.
Yeah.
And it was crap. And I just couldn't do it.
I didn't like the one with Val Kilmer too much, because, like, actually, even with George Clooney, they tried to influence, I guess, because, they knew that these were, like, attractive older dudes, they set up in the role of Bruce Wayne, So they're like, oh, hey, you know, a lot of bitches are going to come out to see this movie. And surely enough, you know, like, I think 90% of the movie was, or I don't know how much percentage of the movie, but there was a lot of ass, okay? And it wasn't female ass.
What it was
Val Kilmer or George Clooney's ass in those.
Oh, it was like a lot of male ass before.
Yeah. like whenever he's, like, getting changed to the suit, stuff like that, you'd see his, like, you know, nipples, you know, the fat nipples they had. And then it would go down.
It kind of pasted on.
Yeah, and it shows his ass. And I was just like, what? I mean,
so you're saying that there's, like, cutscenes that just go directly to...
Yeah, there's
just like vulgar
stuff
of Val Kilmer's business.
Yeah. That's really why I was talking about. I mean, no homo, but I'm just saying I really remember that. Just there's a lot of ass.
I feel like that's what made that movie through and helped them produce the new Batman movie. Just those cut shots of them going, the girls were like, oh, well, we want to rewatch this. We're going to buy this Batman DVD.
Yeah. But, I don't know, the only thing that I have to say that like, I don't really like about this whole, the Dark Knight Rises idea is just the fact that they're making Bane, you know, I think they're probably going to try to go off the whole Nightfall idea where basically, Bane breaks Batman's back and then thus Batman is forced into retirement. And because of that reason, Batman has to end up getting other people, like such as just rogue cops and whatnot, to start filling the suit or even just driving around the vehicles and making it seem like Batman's still alive, even though nobody sees him. They just know that he's a shadow, a figure, so they don't see him, but they just fear the symbol of Batman himself.
Did you ever think, like, because you know that, like, that whole series right there spawned the idea for Batman Beyond.
Right.
And the guy that did, I can't think of the character's name right now, heaven help me.
Oh, you mean the kid?
Yeah, the guy that takes over for Batman's still around. He hangs out in Wayne Manor in a wheelchair, and he has his dog Ace, and then he plays, he has a black suit, and he's got rockets in his feet and the red Batman symbol, and he can fly. But yeah, that's what basically spawned Batman Beyond. So my thought process is maybe they'll make some more Batman Beyond. You know what I mean? But not necessarily Christopher Nolan as a director, but that'd be pretty cool. I think that'd be really neat to see.
I'd love to freaking, like, play the role of the Batman Beyond character, man, just because, I mean, like, I remember when that first came out, and just, like, the first episode, you know, you see, like, the reason Batman ends up retiring is because he ends up using a gun against somebody, and then he's just like, oh, shit, you know, he throws down the gun, and he quits, you know, just because of that reason. And I was like, because he always swore not to use a gun, you know, and it's just, you know, he uses a grappling gun all the damn time, and I think he's even used it against people, but I mean, like, you can't use an actual gun, you know, but...
Terry was the kid's name.
Terry, yeah.
Because he initially didn't want to do it because he had problems at home with his family and stuff like that. But initially, if you're ever going to take the Batman role, you got to have problems of some sort. Seems like.
Your home life has to be fucked up in order to be Batman. I think that's the reason I was able to like really relate with Batman. You know, just like, man, my dad's a dick. You know, and I was like, I can definitely be Batman. That's the way it goes. But one thing that I have to say is that with the Nightfall idea, though, whenever Batman got his back broken, it was like Bane, Big Bane, you know, not just the Bane that they have it now.
He was super juiced up in that. Like, he was a monster. That's why it was so scary and everybody loved it, because nobody really seen Bane before, and then they just come out in those comics, and this guy's huge with the badass mask, and, like, you're just like, oh, my God, this guy just snap Batman in half.
Yeah.
Because on the cover, I had him just destroying him. Like, bending him over his knee, and you see Batman wrenching in pain.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like you just solidified yourself as one of the most badass evil characters ever in DC Comics. You just killed Batman almost.
Yeah. I mean, in all the years that Joker and Batman have been going back and forth, he never got that close. You know?
It's just like
Batman just comes in here, he's just like, "Sup, bitch?"
Yeah.
You know?
What's up? First comic, I'm gonna kill one of your longtime rivals. But it's so weird to see new characters come in like that because it feels like you got to give them some sort of like resonance or like amplification that they're gonna be an awesome character. Because if you don't, they're just gonna be like some really, really bad character.
Yeah, I mean, another thing about the movie though is that like, I mean, it looks like there's a couple of shots where, you know, Bane's like standing on top of a tank, and he's holding up a picture of Harvey Dent, you know, and you know, as we know from the first, from The Dark Knight, you know, they tried saying that, you know, they were going to blame the death of Harvey Dent on Batman in order to keep the White Knight's image still, you know, aglow for Gotham. So, you know, they were going to be like the source of, you know, goodness, and they
Right.
had that kind of
It's a
thing.
really cool concept.
And basically, instead, since he's holding up that picture and stuff like that, I have a feeling that he's going to expose the truth of Harvey Dent and therefore basically breaking Gotham altogether too.
Well, there's a commercials where, who is it, Gordon, I think, is in the hospital?
Yeah.
And he's talking to him, and he's like, you gave up on us.
Yeah.
You can't give up on us, basically is what he's saying.
Yeah.
Like, there's still evil out there. That's what the Batman's here for. And it just looks like they're going to make, they're either, I'm thinking Batman's gone, this is the end of Batman, but he takes the supervillains with him, or some way they find a way to incorporate Nightwing, or say a Robin, or some other characters, you know what I mean?
Well,
Because it's 7 years later.
yeah, Chris, I've already looked up that kind of shit, because in the previews, you know, where it shows, like, the Ravens or whatever, right before, you know, whenever that kid's singing and stuff like that, it shows in the audience, it shows the Ravens, and the arc of the Ravens is clearly the Robin symbol. I mean,
I didn't see that.
yeah, it's clearly the Robin symbol, like, and it's like, you know, like the, you know, that kind of arc.
Yeah,
And
the flashy art.
yeah, it looks just like that, dude, and, like, everybody was freaking out about it, everybody was talking about it, there's so many blog sites about it and shit, everybody's like, maybe we don't see that, blah, blah, blah. And, but then, like, apparently, I don't know, he's just not saying anything because of the fact that, you know, the movie's coming out or whatever, but, I mean, apparently everybody's been talking about it, and, yeah, he just keeps saying that he never wanted to do Robin characters. But it doesn't necessarily take out Nightwing, though.
Right.
Because Nightwing's still out there, but,
He's really good at keeping stuff under wraps.
yeah.
Like, because the whole Dark Knight thing, I never heard anything until it was like a month before the movie, and then you just see a flood of posters and a flood of, like, action figures and Batman memorabilia everywhere. Like, you couldn't go to freaking Pizza Hut without there being, they had Batman boxes, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
I mean,
I just remember the first night that, you know, everybody, I think it was on MySpace at the time, but everybody was talking about the Dark Knight and shit, and it was like, has anybody else seen this website? And I was like, what are you talking about? And then somebody posted a link to it on one of the bulletins, and I ended up checking it out, and it said, vote for Harvey Dent, and it was just a blank page, and it just said that on there. And then it said at midnight this picture's supposed to change or whatever, and then next thing you know, you see it start to fade to different pictures every, like, other minute after it turned midnight. And then, yeah, after, as soon as it was all done, so that it was the very first picture of the Joker, you know, his face and stuff like that.
that's amazing.
And it was creepy. I was just like,
amazing.
at first I didn't even know who the hell it was, because, I mean, like, it was so dark, you know, you see, like, that, you know, it was just kind of dark on his mouth.
Riveted pieces that started under his lips.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a very interesting character, because Jack Nicholson's wasn't like that. It was just fluffy red lip.
Yeah, and he looked like he ate like a couple of peeps and like having stuff in his cheeks or something like that.
Right. He's very
cartoonish, you know, but he definitely added a lot.
That's the world of Tim Burton, though, too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He did an amazing job. No, I mean, not hating on Tim Burton or Jack Nicholson Joker, but Heath Ledger, I think that's probably my favorite.
Oh, definitely. But that's exactly what we were talking about earlier, you know, about like, you know, Anne Hathaway being Catwoman. I mean, like, the director does bring out a lot in the actor, you know, and he's probably going to do the same with Anne Hathaway. You know, Anne Hathaway's never had a chance to really prove herself as a dark character. Right. And this could be a dark character. But then again, Catwoman and Batman have always had sort of a, you know, sexual-ish relationship, too, so it could be that they're just, you know, cool with each other, or she could be just an evil, crazy bitch. You know, who knows? So,
right. You just got to make a decision. So, we got like a minute left here, and then we're going to take a break.
Okay.
Bottom line, are you going to go see The Dark Knight Rises?
Shit, yeah. I'm going to see it in IMAX, and I'm going to freaking just, like, die afterwards, I think. You know, like, it comes out in 2012. After this and the Avengers, I'm going to be okay if the world ends at the end of the year.
Mayans, we're not worried. We got The Dark Knight, we got the Avengers, and we got George Phillips here who's helping us out. And thanks for your time, man. I appreciate it. For sure. It's pretty cool talking with you about it. Yeah, I'm definitely going to go, too, and see The Dark Knight Rises. So if anybody wants to get a hold of me, you know how to get a hold of me on Facebook. I think we're going to see it on IMAX. It's probably going to be a big retarded group of us. Like, we're all just going to mob to Evansville and go see The Dark Knight Rises. in Indiana. But we're going to take a little break, so 2 or 3 minutes. We'll see you here in a second.
Tune in tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Hey, what's up, guys? We're back, and basically just going to go through a little list of comics that I think everybody should pick up, or at least get a chance to maybe look at online, because they got the whole digital thing now where you can get application on your phone for DC Comics or any other comic books, and basically pick that up and just you can download it on your phone now, which I think is an awesome application. I have it myself, and it's right there on the front, one of my favorite applications, because you can get all the new comics. That's how I collect all the new comics without really having to pay. Kind of sounds like a cheap way out, but really having to pay for the new comics. And I can just focus on the Golden Age comics if I want to. Okay. The first one is Detective Comics number 225. And this is the episode, well, comic, that you see the first time you ever get to see Martian Manhunter, one of my favorite characters ever. Right now it's appraised at about $8,000 if you have it, so there is some sort of rarity to it if you guys are looking for a good comic to try and flip, because I know a lot of people that do that. They'll go to a comic store, buy a Golden Age comic, pay maybe $1,000 for it, and sell it for about $3,500. The economy is pretty bad right now. It's kind of hard to flip a comic. But, yeah, Martian Manhunter, first appearance, and it's pretty amazing because on the cover of it, it's bright yellow, and you see like 20 Batman. And he's, and it's funny because there's like a portly Batman, then there's a really buff Batman, and you see Batman and Robin on the cover looking at each other like, holy hell, Batman, what's going on here? That was a really bad Robin from back in the day. Sorry for her words. But, yeah, that one. And then the one, I think it's Green Lantern number 54. For the first time, you really get to see Sinestro and Green Lantern fight each other. And it's pretty intense. That's what made me fall in love with the Green Lantern series. There's not much I can say about Sinestro, really, other than, you know, he's just going to swallow up everything that comes near him. So that's why he wants the Green Lantern's power. That's basically what happens in the book. And then the other one we're going to talk about was Action Comics number 163, where Superman finds out that he is kind of human in a way. It was the first time you see anything about kryptonite. So if you guys get a chance, pick those up and read them. It's not a bad read. And I don't know, is there any other comics out there that you can think of, George, that maybe somebody should go pick up, like comics that you were talking about, Nightfall?
Nightfall is about the only one, but I mean, like, I just read a little bit of that on just one paycheck on Google, and that's the reason I know a little bit more about the story. But I mean, like, as far as comics went, man, I mean, like, I was mostly just a nerd, and just anything that, like, my family would get for me, because they weren't really into comics like that. They just give me Lamb comics at times, stuff like that. And I just read the hell out of those. I got, actually, the main comics I used to get was Spider-Man and X-Men, surprisingly. You know, I'm kind of still, like, stuck in between DC and Marvel. I'm not really sure it's not, like, more, because both of them are just genius to me.
Right.
But, yeah, that's all I used to read. So,
I mean, also, if you're an Avengers fan, if you're going to go see the Avengers movie, for Pete's sake, please go out and get the Hulk number 180. Read that, because it's the first time you get to encounter Wolverine. It's cool. You kind of get a grasp for what the Hulk's going to look like in the movie, because that's kind of where he just kind of decides, oh, well, I can make my own decisions, and he basically tries to smash Wolverine. And, yeah, it's pretty interesting. And then Iron Man number 1, it's going to be kind of hard to find, but I'm sure you can get online and read it. That's pretty awesome. Just kind of delve into Tony Stark, and he.
You say Stoney?
Yes. Tony Stark. You kind of get to see his character and how he's kind of a real quippy kind of character, and then read some Thor, Journey into Mystery. Just get a good base character before you go into the movies. You know what I mean? Because I always hate to see people who don't get an idea of the character they're going to be seeing and then expect something completely different. You know what I mean? So do that, and then you guys hit me up on Facebook, or just next time call in and let me know what you guys think about. So we're going to switch over really quick, smooth transition to some Chicago Bulls basketball. The Bulls have been playing ridiculous right now, and they haven't had Derrick Rose at all, which to me is amazing because he last year was the glue that held the team together. And it seems like those guys that last year kind of watched that, and this year with him on the bench 26 games out of a shortened already season, they kind of just meshed together like super glue, awesome team. And you got Korver busting threes, come in one game, start a couple games, average like 28 points. That's pretty much unheard of in the NBA unless you're Jeremy Lin. And
did not know that.
Yeah, and then you got Luol Deng with his new emergence as the newfound all-star for the Chicago Bulls. And then Boozer's been playing good, which is really, I think, if I'm Carlos Boozer right now, I'm a little mad because I've been playing pretty good. I've been averaging 18, 19 a game and dropping lots of rebounds. And this talk of me being an old man and not being able to cut it kind of makes me want to shove it right up the Miami Heat. You know what I mean? Like, because his family's from Miami, and you know that there's got to be constant talk about the Miami Heat back and forth to him, because the Bulls and Heat are like right in the middle of the mix of each other. So, I mean, if you guys get a chance, watch the playoffs. Hopefully Derrick Rose kicks it into high gear, and we watch the Bulls make a prominent run to the NBA championship, just like the days of old. Jordan hitting threes, Pippen dunking it, laughing, having a good time watching the Bulls dominate. But I think that's going to wrap up this show. And like I said, just leave me messages on Facebook or hit me up on my email here that I got set up online. Next time, guys, call in. We'll have an interactive situation. First show, just kind of wanted to talk and see what my friend here, George, thanks for showing up. It was a good time, man. I enjoyed having you here.
For sure, man. I enjoyed this apple.
And we'll see you guys next time. If you can, you guys call in next time and give me some ideas what you think about the movies we talked about, maybe a little bit about some of your favorite comics, or a little bit about the Chicago Bulls, and maybe something in that area. If you guys just want to talk, say hi, be on the show, just call in. The number is 618-964-5213. And I think this is the end of a first epic show.
Hell yeah.
So we'll see you next time. Good night, Gotham City. Good night, Metropolis.
Bam.
Tune in tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel.
This is now.
That was a good show.
And now we can listen to it.
Again?
Yes.
That's close with